All right, fine. I'll be a gracious host. How you doing?
Little Mermaid is the scariest Disney movie by far, though.
Why the hell is Ace Blade in your Kickstarter?
Some comics. I'm getting controversial today. We're gonna get controversial today with.
My proudest moment is this interview and being able to talk to you two.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Taurus Comics in collaboration with, I guess not
Visually
Taurus,
Stoked Media.
Visually Stoked Media.
Hey,
All right,
let's
Visually
do
Stoked
it.
Media respectfully brings to you the 130th episode of the Four Tales podcast. I am your
Thanks,
host,
bro.
Kyron Silva. Across the way is the visionary behind Heat, the most skilled in artist and storytelling, Javon Stokes. And together we are your two blurred comic creators here to help you find your next favorite comic. We are live on the Age of Geekdom Network via Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you're listening and watching us live, thank you for your support. But don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and review this podcast because all your positive reviews and interactions help us reach a bigger audience. And like we said, no Danny today. We got Javon Stokes from Visually Stoked Media. Thank you for stepping in. How you doing?
No problem, man. I appreciate it. You know, one good black man is good as another. So you know, we just shuffle around. We all look alike.
I feel like though, with you being on, I can actually talk about wrestling.
We can.
We can't. Like
We absolutely can. We absolutely can. I might know more than you though.
Oh, I'm sure you do, because there was a huge gap of time I did not watch wrestling at all.
I had a gap. I had a gap of time, but it wasn't huge. It wasn't that big. I mean, I like peak. I've always like peaked my head, and even now, like I rarely watch the shows live.
Yeah.
It's always like DVR'd, and then like I just fast forward through matches. I don't care. Like who's that? I don't care.
Raw is like 3 hours long, dude. I cannot sit there for 3 hours. I never understood why Raw is 3 hours long. Like,
I don't get it
by
either.
10 o'clock, I'm like, all right, I'm done. Let's just do the main event and let's get going. This is too much for me.
I remember when it was started at 9, it was over at 11. That was great for me. Like, you know, it was like, okay, I could watch a little bit of Monday Night Football, and then I watch wrestling. And then Vince decided that he needed to dominate 3 hours of TV with like half the talent possible to do it.
Yeah. So, well, now it's Triple H, and he's still continuing this thing because they're making money. So,
and they're going to Netflix too. So
that's true. That doesn't start till next year, though, right?
No, like next week, I think. Is it? Really? I'm almost certain it's coming up soon.
Okay, see, now I gotta look this up real quick.
I feel like it's called because SmackDown is moving to USA, and NXT is going to CW. When is it?
2025. It says.
Oh, is it 2025? Okay. I could have swore I saw. Okay, so they're gonna. Oh, okay, all right. Well, I got time.
Yeah. Now the Vince McMahon documentary is coming to Netflix soon.
I'm gonna watch it, but I feel like I probably know everything already. Like you watch wrestling enough, you be on these interwebs, you kind of hear everything. Yeah. Plus, you know, they got that what's the hold on one second. I can't talk right now, buddy. Go. I can't talk. Go talk to your sisters.
I love it.
He hangs his head and walks away. I've never felt like a worse father in my life. Like, wow.
Dad, I'm bleeding. I can't talk right now. Go bleed somewhere else.
He knew what I'm doing. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, wrestling. I love wrestling. I love WWE. I really like AEW. Yeah. I don't get to watch AEW as much.
You're not missing.
I DVR them, but
you're not missing much AEW. And I was excited when they signed Will Ospreay. I was like, oh, this is gonna be dope. He has not really had too many good matches in AEW. Go handle your kid, dude. All right, you know what? We're gonna have to bring our guest on because Javon's got too many family members, and I know our guest will talk and keep things lively and entertained. So he is the most epic one, Michael Watson. What's up, sir? How you doing?
What's up, man? I'm doing fine. Good to be here.
Good. How is your wrestling knowledge?
I'm a '90s kid. I'm not too up and up on the new stuff. The only thing that's been keeping my attention, and I've been watching it and following it through TikTok, is the Rhea
Rhea.
Ripley, Rhea Ripley, and I've been
Her
waiting
name
for
is
her to get
Mommy.
her
Her
mommy.
name
I've been
is
waiting
Mommy.
for her to get revenge. So I've seen some of that. I'm just a fan of her, and yeah,
Yeah, I think we're
I
most of us
missed.
are
Who
fans
you a
of
fan of?
Mommy.
mommy Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley, the real heel in this storyline.
She's got every right. She's got every right.
But you know what though? That has been one of the best storylines they've had in years. And Dominic Mysterio is the best heel they've had in decades.
Absolutely.
And it's a comical heel because
Yeah.
he's not good in the ring. He's barely good on the mic.
He's
But
okay in the ring.
I
He's
mean,
not his dad. That's the problem.
God.
Everyone judges him against his dad.
I'm not going to judge him against his dad because his dad's a Hall of Famer. Honest, for me, if his dad was 6'1", he'd be a top 5, top 3 wrestler of all time. But if you go watch Dominic's matches and they're like, all right, he's got some skill. He's not going to blow you away in a match in any ways. Pause. But but I feel like if his last name was not Mysterio, he'd still be in NXT.
No, he would have been in NXT for real. Like he skipped that. But like you said, he's probably one of the best. He's probably I'm trying to think of the heels on the roster right now.
And I mean just
no
like
one gets
straight
a
heel.
Yeah, no one gets a reaction. He's the only man I've ever seen turn heel while being heel. And I've never seen that before in my life.
That's
Like
true.
I've never seen somebody go more heel. Like
They're like,
maybe
we hate you,
Triple
Dominic.
H.
I'm gonna cheat on Rhea. We hate you even more, Dominic.
Right. This storyline, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I never got what's the girl?
Liv Morgan?
Liv Morgan. I never understood it, never got it. I'm a fan now.
Yeah.
She has been very great. This has done so much for me. I know she's been over her fans, but it's done a lot for me regarding her.
I didn't realize how long she's been in the WWE. I mean, we're talking about a decade almost.
Yeah.
Not already.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy who picks up steam and who really starts to blow up people. And it kind of shows the people that are really in there putting in work, that's doing like the jobs and the gigs that we really don't pay attention to. Then all of a sudden they've been moved up and you're like, oh, I've been watching this person get thrashed for 6 years. And now, but I think it's rewarding to see that because that they had to work to get to the point to where they're at now, to where now they're a name and they're memorable. Like I think wrestling is one of the most rewarding entertainment systems because that person put blood, sweat, and tears into this.
Usually that person. Some people get pushed to the front of the line because their namesake, their family. But usually
Jey Uso is a very good example of that. Jey Uso been wrestling for I feel like it's been like 30 years, but for him to be where he is now, and it's funny how much better. I don't know if he's better than his brother. I feel like his brother got the raw end of the deal.
I always felt like Jimmy was a better performer, but Jay had the ability of getting the emotion of the crowd. Like Jimmy has the skills, especially the mic skills, over Jay.
Yeah, Jimmy's a better talker.
But Jay just knows how to hype up that crowd and get that crowd behind him. And that's a skill in itself that some wrestlers don't have. I'll be honest, when I was wrestling, that was one of the things I struggled with, was just getting the crowd to get behind me.
I gotta see this. I'm telling you, I gotta see this footage, man.
This was 1999, dude.
I need to see this footage. I need to see this footage.
If I've looked for it, I can direct you to the people I wrestle with, and they'll vouch for me. But
no, I believe it. I just need to see the footage
that I wrestled, and I was horrible at it, but I can say I tried.
Couldn't be me. I'd break. I'd shatter. the first shoulder block. I'm like, nope, time.
I'm good.
I'm good.
It was all a dream.
The first time I did a superplex off the top rope, that was the longest superplex because it took 5 seconds to go over, but took me 5 minutes to actually do the move. Because I was sitting there like, I don't want to do this. I'm scared. My coach was like, he was like, Kyron, you better jump. I'm like, it's scary.
That's like when I just saw, I was watching was it all Stone Cold Steve Austin was talking about how he was fighting somebody, Yokozuna, and how Yokozuna did something to him and made him ish his pants. And I was like, that'd be me.
Yeah.
Right there. Smack. Oh, in the match. Pin me
In the
now.
match.
Pin. Be the first dude to
Yokozuna was a
submit
big
without
dude,
a
though.
submission move. You'd be like, why are you tapping? He's not touching you. It's over. It's a wrap.
It's over.
It's a wrap.
Yokozuna, the Samoan guy that WWE for years pawned off as Japanese. This dude is related to Rikishi. And they said, nope, you Japanese right now.
Listen, Vince has done a lot of things. And that is not even top 10.
All right. You know, Mike, I am sorry. We really went off the rails. Mike
It's okay.
Watson from Freestyle Comics. What's going on with Freestyle Comics, man? I'm gonna get us back on. Javon, we really do have to start a wrestling podcast.
We do, man. I'm down for it.
But
Oh man.
what's going on with Freestyle that we need to talk about, dude?
Well, we just we released Hotshot number 12, and I just finished up Hotshot 13. So there are the talk of towns right now before we move into our next Kickstarter next week. But the issue 12 is, I think, is a pretty important issue just because of what it's discussing, and I don't see a ton of comic books or indie books talking about this type of subject matter. And it's just something I wanted to explore, and I'm hoping that people enjoy it and hopefully they find the emotional connection with it to want to read more comics.
Now you said you're releasing it, so is this not coming to Kickstarter?
Oh, 13 will become the Kickstarter. It'll be our last Kickstarter of the year. You guys got an early review copy to check out. So it'll be, because we're releasing the Hotshot Trade Volume 3 and issue 13 together to finish up our year.
Now, 13 was the one with all the splash pages, right? Because
No, that was 12.
Kyron sent me the links like 15 minutes ago.
That was 12.
Okay, 12. All right. I'll have to go and look back at 13 because my co-host decided to send me the links 5 minutes before I collected. So,
It was not 5
Hotshot.
minutes.
I have long been a fan of Mr. Watson and Hotshot.
Wait, no, don't be throwing me under the bus with that. It was not 5 minutes before the show. It was 23 minutes. I'm looking at the timestamp right now.
23 minutes. Oh, okay.
All right.
The busage.
The bus. I love that. I'm stealing it. I'm stealing it. The busage. You will hear that on Top 5 Live. This week,
Awesome.
probably very soon. As much as it happens on that show.
Oh God, I love it. I love it.
So okay, let's talk about 12 because that's the one that you sent us that was done.
Mhm.
And you and I talked about this before the show, and you've mentioned this a few times while you're even drawing it that 12 is an emotional ride for you.
Yes.
This is very personal to you. This talks about things that you actually experienced in your life. Can you elaborate on that just for our audience?
Yeah, so this is a conversation I had with my mother and my sister asking if it was okay for me to put the story in comic book format. But my my late stepfather put his hands on my mother when I was little a lot. And it happened on a regular basis, and it was something that I didn't do anything about because I was scared and I was a kid, and I've never forgiven myself for that. I feel like to this very day, I felt my mom. And when I started writing Hotshot again, I needed something that was blocking Hotshot's powers. I've always said that he has a block. There's a mental block there that's keeping his powers from being full blown. But I used to say it's because he got his powers at a young age, so he doesn't know how to use them. But that's lame. We needed something more grounded and more serious that could really speak on trauma and experience. And my sister had invited me to my nephew's birthday party, and I was like, yeah, we'll be there. That's what's up, we're coming. And she was telling me what was going on there. And then she was like, all right, well, could I see you at the party? And then I heard her husband on the phone talking to her. I was like, did you tell Michael that he's going to be there? And she was like, oh, shoot. No, I did not. Mike, my dad's going to be there. So I don't know if that's going to be okay with you or not. I'm like, no, it's fine. It's cool. I immediately called my mother. So what the what is he doing in Columbus? And she was like, oh, he lives down there. I was like, oh, you didn't think you should tell me that? I could have randomly ran into this dude or been flipping out thinking I'm seeing something that I don't know, man. I just think you should have.
Bring the
I just
elbow.
think you should have told me. She was like, boy, you fine. You are fine. But he lives down there now, so now you know. I was like, thanks.
Thank you. Now,
That's how it is sometimes. But I went to the party and I had a terrible sense of fear. And I got there and I saw him and I did not move away from my family. I pulled them everywhere I went. I did not want him to talk to them. I did not want him to look at them. I did not want him to see my kids or see my wife. And it's all I could think about. And I wanted to go over and hurt him, but I was like, this is my sister. This is my nephew's birthday party. This is their family. I can't
right.
cause a scene. And I was destroying myself in my head because I was telling myself, you need to go over and wreck this dude. You need to go fuck him up now. Like and finally I just told my sister's husband, like, we're leaving. Like, I can't be here right now. And we left. And I called my mom and I talked to her about it. And we had a very long conversation on it. And it made me think of Hotshot and writing this story about it. And I was like, oh shoot, like that fear that I felt, that angst that I was feeling, that could be the thing that's holding Hotshot back. That could be the thing that's in his head as trauma. And we have to, and he has to face um feel if he really is a hero, because that's the question that he's going to be asking himself, or that's the question that we're asking, like, are you a hero because you had the opportunity to save someone without power and you didn't, and now you're out here posterizing saving people with power, and how is he going to overcome
Hey, that's deep, man. I mean, I think you were on Top 5 Live. We talked about this before, and I told you how much I related because I was in pretty much the same one, but I was older,
that?
and I had a steel bat. So yeah, I know exactly that feeling where you're just like, I might have to put hands on the dude. So I totally get it, and the fact that you were able to like funnel that and channel it into your creative into a creative space, do you feel that it has allowed you a margin of uh, uh, closure, or is it still something that kind of sits in your throat?
It is still something that sits with me. I'm never going to forgive myself for it. I've talked to my mom about it and things. I just won't. But it is drawing this issue has become it was a very therapeutic experience for me, drawing these pages and getting to tell this story. There were some pages, like, after I drew them, I had to walk away and like couldn't come back to the book for a couple of days or whatnot. Lori Foster was inking pages, and she messaged me. She was like, dude, I don't know if I should clap for you because these pages are so good, or if I should come hug you because these pages are so intense. And but it has given me some sense of closure with the situation and being able to work it out through comic pages.
I can understand that. I mean, that the pages that you sent us, the previews, that there is raw emotion in almost every panel. Just raw energy, raw hurt. Um, I mean, was this planned? I mean, you've been making Hotshot for years. Was this planned from the beginning to maybe do this issue? And did you wait to issue 12 for a certain reason? Or did you just say, you know what, this is just time for me to end this in part of my life?
No, this is absolutely not planned. We do have Hotshot planned for several issues, and we've kind of modified that plan as we've gone along through issues or whatnot. But this arc was a completely new arc, and it kind of sprung up from issue 6 and 7, no 7 and 8. We had Carrie Kelly guest right on there, and his issues are super fun. Lots of action and adventure. But when we read all the issues together, they didn't feel like they came from the first 6 issues, because there was no after effect from those first 6 issues in 6 and 7. They're like a completely new adventure. So when you read them all together, they feel a little disjointed. And Hotshot is way too comfortable with his powers in those issues. So I said, because it was my fault, because I'm the editor of the book at the time, and I was like, so Carrie, I know you got an issue 9 you want to do, but I'm going to do issue 9 because it was my mistake in not making sure we kept some of these things that we needed from those first 6 issues in this. So I'm going to add those into issue 9 to get us back to a rounder plate, and then we'll pick up with your story. And then I wrote issue 9, and I really liked it and enjoyed it, and I kept writing. So I was like, well, and Carrie was cool with it. There was no hard feelings or anything like that. But then I saw there was more stuff that I wanted to do with Hotshot, especially being a big fan of shows like Naruto, My Hero Academia, The Uncanny Counter, and things like that. I saw that I felt like there was more emotion I needed to put in this series to really make you feel it. So when Hotshot does get on this, does win, the win feels bigger because he's gone through a much tougher time.
Now, like you, as Kyron said, you got 12 issues, man.
That's impressive.
I mean, I don't know how much viewers understand how big a deal that is for a Black indie creator to have 12 issues of a book.
Mhm.
Like, first, I want to applaud you, but
Thank you.
no, I mean, listen. It's funny because I just did the math on my books, and I've done about 11 issues worth of story, but it's not 11 issues.
Mhm.
But for you to be able to be like, you're gonna have 2 trades worth, or really, if you want to do it, or 1 omnibus,
Yeah.
if you want. But it's an achievement that I want to give you your flowers on.
And
But also, like,
let's not also forget he also has books for Vigilance, Heroes International, Emerald
listen,
Quest.
we gonna give Mike all his flowers. We got a whole show to do. Right, let's spread it out. We don't want to just pelt him with roses for the next 2 seconds. But no, did you you say you haven't planned out to like 25? How solid is that plan?
It's loosely planned out to 50, and 25 is cemented.
I'm sorry. Can we go back? You said it's loosely planned out to 50?
Yeah.
Really?
Mhm.
Okay. Now, are you planning on continuing, or is this something where the end and you will reach the end and then be done with Hotshot?
I know the end of Mike Watson is Hotshot. And what reason I say it's loosely planned out to 50 because I know what I want to happen, and I know how I want it to end. I don't know how many issues it's going to take to get to that, because as we're all kids at heart. So in my heart, I want it to be a solid 100 issues. But now that I have been a creator for as long as I've been a creator, I'm more concerned about the narrative. How many issues do I need to tell the story right? And not just do I need to be robust with issue numbers, or can I tell the story of the whole Hotshot Mike Watson run in 50 issues, and get to that end point that I want to get to. And I'm starting to think more that I can tell it in like a 50, 60 issue.
You said the Mike Watson run, meaning when you finish, you will hand the baton over to somebody else?
Well, the Mike Watson, so the main character is me, and we call him Mike Watson in the book. So his run as Hotshot will come to.
Oh, okay. So, okay. All right. I see you. I hear you. Okay. All right.
And that's when Mike Watson's kid will take over as Hotshot, and we'll just continue on.
That's when we begin the Kyron Silva Hotshot epic.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But yeah, we got the 25 issues is solidified because Robert Jeffrey has written already the issue 24. Issue 24 is already written, so everything that we're doing in all of our books is leading to Hotshot issue 24.
I might steal that idea, man. I might just write Heat number 25.
Yeah,
but I feel like I'm dead serious. But funny. No. It's funny because I asked you about that because I have sat down and plotted out to like 50 of Heat, and I have gone so far off the rails of where I thought I was going to be that it's like there's still good ideas there, and I'm not like I can always curve back, but like I always wondered like you said you wrote 25, and I'm like, dude, if I write 25 now, I feel like I would be so constricted creatively because I'd be like, well, I everything's got to line back up to this. What if I have this really great idea? Like, do you ever think about that?
Yes, and I feel like that's what all these other years prior were for. I got to play with all those ideas, look at those ideas, see where they land me, and all those ideas helped me get to this point, which is Zero Event Emergence. And it's going to start in Hotshot 24. It's going to be an 8-part story that ends in Hotshot 25. And so the stories that are going to lead up to that 24th issue are tied in. We're going to close off a lot of things that are kind of like open right now in the Hotshot story. And we got some one-shots because we haven't done any one-shots in a while. Like 14 is being drawn right now. That one was written by Travis Gibb. We got a new villain in there, and it's a one-shot adventure. And then we're doing our crossover with Danny J. Quick and Hotshot 15. And it's looking like Ace Blade 11. So it's going to cross over into both of our books. And after that, 16, 17, and 18 are one-shots. And then I have one last big arc involving Carla and Mike before we go to Hotshot 24.
Wow.
So going back to Hotshot's name being Mike Watson, and this is a little personal here. When I was reading over issue 12, I was noticing that Mike had his mom and his sister, they're injured, things like that. And we saw their names. Are the names that the character has in the book your mom and your sister's actual names, or are they just?
Yes.
So you really just threw your entire life into this book.
Yeah, we've changed some of the names, but I really like my mom and my sister's name, so I wanted to keep those in there. And plus, I already have a character based off of my sister, Marky from Emerald Quest. So that is the abbreviation of my sister's name, Marky.
Were they okay with using their names in the book, or did you get their permission?
Once they okayed the story, they okayed everything else.
So let's go back real quick. I'm gonna ignore the fact that you did a crossover with Danny before you did one with Heat.
I didn't want to get this. I didn't want to be the only person else.
Heat, Hotshot, it's like right there, writes itself. But anyway,
Danny's Ace Blade just pops up in everybody's book.
Everybody wants Ace Blade.
I'm like, next thing you know, Scott Snyder is gonna be drawing absolute Ace Blade. I bet.
You know what's funny? I sold one of Danny's books because me and Roland were sitting right next to we were sharing a table at Dragon Con, and like somebody was like, well, "What's it's?" So the cover for my variant for Ace Blade covers up the name Ace, so it's like E Blade or something like that. So they're like, what is this E Blade? And I was like, no, that's Ace Blade. I was like, that's basically a UFC fighter turned vigilante. And then Ro looked at me and he was like, yo, that's a great pitch. I was like, man, I was trying to tell Danny, man, he don't want to use it, but everybody loves Ace Blade, Well, how did that come about? How did the Ace Blade and Hotshot crossover come about outside of Danny just badgering you?
Well, Danny and I kind of badger each other. We're always in our inboxes and stuff. And Danny, we were doing our internship that we do here with a lot of our students, and I had the students getting ready to work on our book that is for interns called The Cipher. And Danny hates Carla. We've talked about this several times. So I was like, but Danny, you don't know the whole story. So I challenged Danny to write a short story for us featuring Carla. So he can get some perspective on her end as well, but also to challenge him to write this story without any bias. And he worked with our interns for that semester coming up with the story. I gave him the plot and where we needed the story to be at to line up for other things. And he really knocked it out the park. The interns really enjoyed the story. It came out well. I really enjoyed where he went with it. And then Danny wrote a short for us which is technically kind of the beginning of Emerald Quest, another short story. And that went well again. And amongst this time of Danny writing these two stories, I've had to give him information in regards to things. And it just made us talk more about like how we could mingle Ace Blade into this. I think the main reason started because we both want to do a crossover that ripples into both our universes. We don't want to do a single crossover that's an exclusive or outside of the books. We want it to happen in our books, and then the ramifications bleed over into both of our stories. And that's where that conversation came from. And then we just started talking about it and worked it out, and now we got it in process.
Okay, so I'm going to take a note. Do free work for Mike to have a crossover. Okay,
Wait,
I got it. Okay,
wait. But Ace Blade was also an Emerald Quest, right?
Yes.
So I mean, you don't have to do. He didn't do anything to get Ace Blade in there. He just popped up.
I would say he badgered me then, but it wasn't really free work because Danger Quick wanted to know how to do internships. So in working with my internship, I was showing him how I get the students, how I start this thing off, how I get them credits and things like that. So It was equivalent exchange.
Nice. Okay. It's okay. Do free work. Do free work. No. I got you.
This is a Full Metal Alchemist.
I was like, because I was at FSK Con. Was it last year? God, oh, last year, and I was like, and then I didn't know about the crossover until he did the big show, and I was like, he is right there. I was like, I was going to stand up in the middle of it, be like, hey, right here. What are you doing?
No, man, but it's a great story.
The imagery was really cool, man. I'm really happy for you guys.
Thank you.
So what's after 12? There's ramifications of everything that's going on with Hotshot.
Mm-hmm.
What can we expect in 13?
13, and I don't want to say this like I'm trying to toot a horn or anything, but I think 13 is the best issue that we're going to do.
No, go ahead. Toot that horn.
Because we are bringing in a new character who's actually a retired superhero, who is going to really help line things up for Hotshot. Hotshot has to deal with the ramifications of what happened in issue 12 because he beat the litty-livered dog out of this man, and he brings him to an EHD facility to save his life because in the book, he was possessed by darkness. He was possessed by something that was very familiar to something like the void. And he brings him in there, tells him what happened, and the general of HD says, "All right, well that's a cute story, but you see how this looks. This dude put his hands on your mother, and you beat the little tar out of him. There's no footage of it. I'm supposed to trust you. This happens in the middle of the night, and you say he's possessed, but there's no signs of possession and stuff. So he has to and the general believes him, but it's the situation of how do we explain this to the public? And while the general says there's no footage out there, someone did record it, and they put it out online. So it looks like Hotshot beat up a defenseless man, and that gets loose on the web. But throughout this whole story arc, one of the triggers is that Hotshot wasn't able to save a husband and a son who died in the explosion, and Hotshot took up the full responsibility of that because he failed to stop the explosion. And so we get to go to that funeral of those two, and Hotshot talks to the now widow, begging for her forgiveness that he failed and stuff. And there's a nice little twist in there. And it's taken a lot to write this and kind of figure out where everything was going. And I was up late one night talking with Victor, and and then I got through lots of conversation and talking, and the conversation, that point in the story where, because I hate this point, when the hero or the person the main character, things that you like, has to go back and own up for their wrong. Well, in this one, Hotshot doesn't own up to it. He says, "Fuck it, I'm responsible for it. I take the responsibility for this, but I don't forgive you. I'm not going to move on. I am never going to forgive you for this. And the next time, there won't be one because you won't be breathing." And it's the fact that our hero goes to that length to have that conversation. But this guy's a hero. He saves and protects people, but he's also human, and humans have emotions. And there is a line that can be drawn, no matter how good a person is or how much good they do. There's a point where there's a breaking point for everybody.
I like it.
Yeah, it's good stuff, man. I'm gonna argue with Mike offline. We're gonna talk offline.
I mean,
I'm gonna see you soon, aren't I? I'm gonna see you soon. Because Mike has been doing. He's been doing the Javon O. Stokes tour of Comic Cons this year. When
did you become
out
Irish
there.
with your O. Stokes?
What'd you say?
When did you become
That's
Irish?
my middle name. My middle initial. O. Stokes. That's usually how they work.
You just made it sound like
I didn't know I had
Irish.
to explain middle initials today, but that's where we are. So, so where I've seen you at BlurredCon.
Mm-hmm.
You've done Atlantic, right?
Yep.
Where else did I see you? I saw you somewhere else too.
I think we were at a GalaxyCon show together.
No, not Galaxy.
No, AwesomeCon. We were at
AwesomeCon. Right.
Mm-hmm.
AwesomeCon. Where do you have coming up, and what's next year looking like?
Coming up, we have Middletown Comic Expo next weekend.
Nice.
Then we are. Oh, actually, I need to follow up with this guy, Kyron, because we're going to be announcing FSCon. And then after FSCon, I have a couple book signings here locally in Columbus. And then my final show is GalaxyCon Columbus from GalaxyCon.
You're doing FSCon?
Yeah.
When?
We have not figured out the date because we are partnering up with a prestigious award show, possibly. And it's going to be virtual this year. So we're going to have people get slots online. We're trying to there's this award show that came out last year for the first year. It was really dope where they put together everything.
I think I remember that one.
Yeah,
I didn't get nominated for anything. So
oh god.
You didn't? Not one thing?
No, not one thing.
Did
you produce anything last year?
I didn't come out here to start no fight.
So you didn't bring the heat, and you didn't get the.
I didn't bring the heat,
Oh,
but I got you next year. I got you next
okay.
year.
All right. What about
But
this year?
okay, cool. Yeah, because I mean, I did enjoy FSK Con last year. It was definitely fun. For those that were there, huh?
It was a lot of fun. It's just we were so invested in the Middletown Expo show. So
Okay.
we did FSK did we're partnered with it. We did all the
Okay.
branding. We designed the logo. We done the badges, the banners, everything we made, and it
Wow.
features our characters. We basically put the show together. Tony's been leading the way for us on that. Tony Clapper's been doing an incredible job, and I was like, I
Can't do it again.
I can't do this for 2 shows. I can't do this for 2 shows. But we had so much good momentum from FSCon that I was like, we need to do an abbreviated version of it. Keep it going. And then go back to full scale again next year because we don't have to do this. Remember, like we're still partnered with them, but we don't have to do all the groundwork like we did this year.
Hey man, you gotta let me know the date so I can put it on my calendar, man. I'm up to like 35 shows, so
Oh shoot,
Jesus,
that's a lot of shows.
Is it 35? It's at least 25.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, that's every other weekend. You just out at shows.
Hey
Yeah.
man, how is she gonna get your stuff out there, man?
Oh,
I'm trying to sell 2,000 books next year, man.
I feel it.
Yes,
Oh.
Danny, you have
you've been replaced, Danny. You've been replaced.
He got upgraded. He's got the
Oh shoot, that's the upgrade.
You got traded in for the new model, the new hotness.
The new hotness.
I appreciate that.
Lord.
I appreciate that.
Oh Lord, the new hotness.
Hey Danny,
Right.
hey listen, man. If you got time to comment,
Oh Lord,
you could have, That's
You
all
just
right.
calling the man out, and he's doing
Man,
stuff.
I do worse on Top 5 Live. Like, I do way worse.
All right. Well, we gotta let you go, Mike. What?
Oh, you guys. Oh, you kicked me off.
No. Well, I mean, we got a couple minutes because we usually only do 45 minutes, and then.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I thought it was an hour. I don't know. I was with you, Mike. I was like, it's an hour. Okay.
I was gonna see if I could show your audience some pages from 13.
Yeah. Go ahead. We got a couple minutes.
I don't show that heat.
So the new Hotshot's gonna be called Cameron, right?
Oh, nice. I love that.
Oh, okay.
That's a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
Was that you?
No, this is actually we did a partnership with the Cincinnati Academy of Arts, and one of their students they did this cover for us.
Oh, nice. Beautiful colors.
Yes, I absolutely love this thing, and here is the secondary cover.
Ooh.
Okay.
I like it.
Who's the artist?
This one I did.
Oh, okay, cool.
And so here's the opening page for Hotshot 13, picking up pretty much exactly where the previous issue left off.
He beat the dog crap out of it.
Yeah. Shout out to Loki because this scene was definitely inspired by Loki from Thor 2.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
See.
And then Veronica's coloring these pages now.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like issue 3 really slows everything down, allows you just to take a breath.
Mm-hmm.
Issue 2 was just pounded, pause in your face.
Yeah, that's what we're going for. And so 5-star is in this issue in a small crossover.
Now I gotta say, I've always said this. I've always thought about your artwork. There's just so much dynamic. Was it dynamism? Dynamism? What's the word? It's very dynamic. Your artwork, it's dynamic and organic at the same time.
Ooh,
and it's really hard for people to. I know a lot of people who can't quite do that. And I definitely have always admired that about you, man. It actually makes me mad because you make me have to friggin' do better as an artist. So it's great and screw you at the same time. Yeah,
I absolutely appreciate that, sir.
But no, man, it's just like you're very good at it's so much personality within every panel. Nothing looks static, everything looks in motion, even when it's sitting still.
I appreciate that a whole lot. That's absolutely what we're going for. I wanted the pages to feel like there was a lot of movement within the pages, and then certain panels would have quiet moments and things like that. So this was I really want to be like this book is probably like the culmination of all of my years of working on comic books. I poured into this one. Like everything that I picked up, every trick, everything I learned, every conversation I had, I really poured all that stuff into this. And this is the first issue that I completely drew in Clip Studio for the first time.
I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to take this as an insult in any way, but when I was looking through these pages of issue 13, and I go back and look at issue 1, that what you're talking about, that culmination of all your years, you can tell your artwork has grown in that time frame. And I don't want it to say that first issue was bad in any way, but you have grown as an artist, as a creator, as quote unquote director that they say that you are as a comic artist. That definitely shows in issue 12 and 13.
I mean, that's what you want to hear.
Thank you. Yeah, that's what I want to hear. I think that's one of the aspects of the Hotshot series is that you actually get to see that series grow up. You get to see that series grow up in production and story and everything. I was just the interns just did a review for Hotshot because every intern class that comes in, I have them do that because I feel like Hotshot is the story of Freestyle Comics. If you want to see how Freestyle Comics has grown since we started to where we are right now, the only book you're going to get that in, like that full story, is going to be Hotshot. All the other books are the benefit of Hotshot because of what we learned here. They got all the good shit. Hotshot got all the bad and the good. This is like my favorite page in issue 13. I got one other page that's my favorite, but I absolutely love this one.
Yeah,
and,
I love the umbrellas. That's a good touch.
The emotion in that, you could just tell that this is that somber page, that somber moment that you really needed in the book.
Dude, it was so much fun to draw. I will tell you, if anybody's out there thinking about drawing in Clip Studio, just go ahead and do it.
Is it that good? I'm because you and I have talked a lot about drawing digitally and drawing traditionally. And I'm still kind of on the fence. I have decided that my next book, Strong #1, will be fully digital. I just haven't decided which program to use. So it's interesting to hear about Clip Studio and its effectiveness.
Clip Studio is incredible. I'm going to be all aboard for it, and I'm on the cusp of Clip Studio. You know what I'm saying? The cusp.
Really?
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm gonna stop right there because I just love this issue so much.
That's a great page right there. This is amazing artwork, man.
Thank you.
And again, screw you for making me have to work harder. Like, I kind of want to hang out with my kids, but
shoot,
Mike Watson has to be really good, so I gotta work. So thanks, man.
Well,
appreciate it. You ruined my house. You ruined my household.
Well, I will say all of you have ruined me because I watch and see all the stuff that you guys are doing, all the books you guys are putting out, the shows that you're hitting, and the numbers you're moving, and it just makes me just sit in the basement and work hard.
Hey, man, that's what we're all here for, man. I really do. I appreciate you, Kyron, as well. Kyron is an amazing artist. He doesn't want to work with me because he thinks I hate black people for some reason.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
All right.
Honestly, it's Friday. I'm having a good time.
Okay, I need to do a tangent on this because this has been bugging me for a minute. Give me a second here, and I need to highlight Mike real quick, and I'm gonna get rid of the chat because I want to see something. Yep, that is all right. I knew that was the two posters right behind you, the Korra and the Aang. That's by Edwin Wong.
Yeah.
I was like, that's my boy.
Hey, dude,
I got
he's
the
dope.
Chun-Li version of the Korra
Yeah.
right next to me right now.
Oh God, he's dope.
Yeah.
I love him. When I go to shows, there's one artist that I buy prints from, and that show it was him. He is fantastic.
He actually
By the
did
way, y'all,
what
that basement is as legendary as you think it is.
is it?
It is more. I walked
like-
in there. I was like, dog, it looked like nerd culture just threw up.
Is it like the Studio 54 of comic books? Is that what they're trying to say?
Bruh, he got sets. He got multiple sets of toys. Multiple, like more than 4, right?
Yeah.
I counted 3 off the top of my head.
Lord of the Rings, Marvel Universe. I have 2 Marvel sets over here. Spawn, a whole anime section.
I
My
didn't even
Hero
see
Academia.
Spawn.
Oh yeah, those are the ones that started it.
I was just like, I was sitting there like, dog, I could sit here for hours and probably miss like 50% of this room. So I was just like, man, your wife must be amazing to be okay with that.
Well, it's all in my space.
Mike, I just sent you a Copic or image that
Mhm.
Evan Wong did for me of Saw, just
Oh.
using pencils and Copics a couple years ago.
What's his name?
Edwin Wong. He's done stuff for
I wonder if
Marvel.
I've met him.
If you got to any anime conventions,
Is he-
probably.
Yeah, dude, he's sick.
He used to draw one of my favorite books called Skull Kickers from Image Comics. That book was just crazy funny and ridiculous, and he's like Joe Mad in that anime style. He's
Yeah.
a lot like Joe Mad.
Yeah, there's a lot that he does that's really subtle, that's just elegant, and a lot of people miss it. Like the general fan base really don't see it, but like you look at this, you can get lost in his work and just see all the little nuances and subtleties that he puts into it, and his perspective shit is just off the map.
Yeah, I got like a whole corner of just stuff he's done for me. I'm like, all right, we're over time. I think 5 Star is going to start soon.
That's right.
I don't know what. Okay, this is all messing me up because usually we do quick takes, and now I'm just messed up. Since Dan's not here, we can't do quick takes, so we're just gonna go to the end. Stop it, Mike.
What?
Stop typing in the stuff. I hate you have control. It throws
I'm
me
sitting
off.
here like, why is he yelling at the guest?
Because he's doing stuff behind. Because he has the same controls I do. Because this is his. He's Agent of Geekdom. So he's.
I got scolded on the stream, y'all.
I literally yelled at his guest. I've never seen.
And
that
he's doing
before in
stuff
my
behind
life.
the scenes. I'm like, why is that doing that? It's because of him. All right, Mike. So I see you put in fsknow.com. Is that where people can check you out in the future?
It is, but I saved the last thing you was gonna say. I can put in the follow me link for our new Kickstarter that'll be launching next week.
Okay.
You have control issues, Mike.
I have control issues just in general. I really do.
I love it. This man scolded me. I love it so much.
Javon, thank you for being a guest host. Would love to have you on again as a guest and as a host. But where can people check you out?
I got wow, that was bad.
That was really
visuallystoked.com is where you can find all my stuff. Right now, you can pre-order Heat number 3. It is almost done. I'm literally have one page to do, and I got another. I have another big project that I'm about to announce within like maybe a month. As soon as I get through, and as always, you can find me at a con. I'll be at Granite State Comic Con in New Hampshire in 2 weeks. And then I think I'm at Kids Con in November. And then October. No, November. And then October, I will be at New York Comic Con for one day, Thursday.
Oh. Do you drive to all these events?
Some of them I fly. I flew to Dragon Con and like New Orleans, Orlando, and Heroes Con I flew. But the rest I drive, man.
Can't tell. What's up? I'm so glad you're here. That's awesome.
Is his name really Can't Tell?
No.
Or is that like
You can't
That's
tell,
just
Kyron?
well no, because I have a
just
family
said
member
he
named
can't
Can't Tell also.
Oh wow.
That's why I was like, there's not how many people out there named Can't Tell?
I'm pretty
Alright.
sure that's not irrelevant. But they were at the assembly today when we were promoting the comic book.
Shut up, Javon. Anyways, since Javon didn't reciprocate on where he can check me out, you can check me out at touriscomics.com.
You're the
I'm
host.
Have you never seen my show? I do that to Danny. The Danny says, Kyron, where can we find you at?
Well, if I had more than if I had more than 3 hours to prepare for this, I would be ready. But I'm not.
Anyways, you can find me at touriscomics.com. You can check me out at all social media platforms at Touriscomics. And if this is the first time you've ever listened to our podcast, you can go to our website, fourtalespodcast.com. Oh, wait, wrong one. That is the number 4, TALES podcast.com. You can listen to our previous episodes. You can buy us a coffee. You can buy some merchandise. Support us in any way possible. But do come back next week where we're going to have Brandon Ingram from Dismay Comics. We're talking about his upcoming Kickstarter and everything about his series. But until then, sayonara, goodbye, and everyone, please take care of yourself. No, Javon.
I want to know what it is Quick is trying to say.